Aside from saving for retirement, your largest financial challenge is undoubtedly saving for your child's college education. How much will a college education cost? How do you know how much to set aside? What if you save all this money and they decide to travel around Europe instead of attending college? Can you cash in the account and take that dream trip you've been planning with your spouse? That depends on how and where you keep your money. Fortunately, there are various flexible options for saving for future tuition costs, such as starting a 529 college savings plan. What is a 529 plan? A 529 plan is a tax-advantaged savings plan meant to help pay for education. Initially restricted to post-secondary education expenditures, it was expanded in 2017 to include K-12 education and apprenticeship programs in 2019. The two main types of 529 plans are prepaid tuition plans and education savings plans. Education savings plans grow tax-deferred, and withdrawals are tax-free if utilized for eligible educational costs. Prepaid tuition plans enable account holders to pay current tuition rates for future attendance at specified schools and universities. It suggests you can almost certainly lock in a cheaper cost of college attendance. Understanding 529 plans. A 529 account can be opened by anybody, although most are opened on behalf of a kid or grandchild, who is the account's beneficiary. In some states, the person who funds the account may be entitled to a state tax deduction for their contributions. The money in a 529 plan grows tax-deferred until it is withdrawn. Furthermore, as long as the funds are spent for qualified education expenses as defined by the IRS, the withdrawals are exempt from state and federal taxes. Tax-free withdrawals for K-12 students are limited to $10,000 per year. Because tax benefits vary by state, you must read the fine print of any 529 plan to learn the exact tax benefits for which you may or may not be eligible. A quick reminder, if you've enjoyed the video so far, consider subscribing as we frequently upload informative and educational videos. Let's continue. Types of 529 plans. 529 savings plans and prepaid tuition plans are the two main types of 529 plans. There are a few significant differences between the two. The most common type is the 529 savings plan, in which the account owner contributes money and invests it. Account holders can select the type of investment they want to invest in. The performance of such assets will influence how much the account value grows over time. Several 529 plans offer target date funds, which adjust their assets over time, becoming more conservative as the beneficiary approaches college age. Withdrawals from a 529 savings plan can be utilized for qualified college and K-12 expenses. Tuition, fees, room and board, and other related charges are considered eligible expenses. The Secure Act of 2019 expanded tax-free 529 plan withdrawals to cover registered apprenticeship program expenses and up to $10,000 in student loan debt repayment for account beneficiaries and their siblings. The Secure Act of 2022 made the 529 savings plan more attractive by allowing up to $35,000 in unspent money in a 529 account to be rolled over into a Roth IRA account beginning January 1, 2024. The account has to be at least 15 years old to qualify. Prepaid tuition plans. Prepaid tuition plans are available in a few states and at some higher education institutions. They differ in detail, but the overall idea is that they allow the account holder to lock in tuition at current rates for a student who might not be attending college for several years. Prepaid plans for K-12 schooling are not available. Prepaid tuition plans, like 529 savings plans, grow in value over time. However, 529 savings plans cover room and board fees, and prepaid tuition plans do not. Eventual withdrawals from the account used to pay tuition are not taxable. Prepaid tuition plans may restrict which colleges they may be used for. By contrast, the money in a savings plan can be used at most eligible institutions. Furthermore, funds contributed to a prepaid tuition plan are not guaranteed by the federal government and may not be guaranteed by some states. Be sure you grasp every detail of the prepaid tuition plan. Tax advantages of 529 plans. Withdrawals from a 529 plan are not subject to federal or state income taxes if utilized for eligible educational costs. With the exception of specific conditions such as death or incapacity, all other withdrawals are subject to taxes plus a 10% penalty. Contributions to a 529 plan are not tax deductible for federal income tax purposes. More than 30 states, however, offer tax deductions or credits of varied amounts for contributions to a 529 plan. If you want a state tax deduction or credit, you must invest in your home state's plan. Some states will enable you to invest in their programs as a non-resident if you are willing to forego a tax break. Now let's discuss the advantages and disadvantages of 529 plans. Let's start with the advantages. Number 1, high contribution limit. Number 2, flexible plan location. Number 3, easy to open and maintain. Number 4, tax-deferred growth. Number 5, tax-free withdrawals. And number 6, tax-deductible contributions. The disadvantages include number 1, limited investment options. Number 2, different fee levels per state. Number 3, restrictions on changing plans. Number 4, restrictions on switching investments. And number 5, must be used for education. 529 plan transferability rules. The owner may transfer to another 529 plan once per year unless there is a beneficiary change. It is not necessary to change plans in order to change beneficiaries. You may transfer the beneficiary to another family member, such as a spouse, a sibling, a kid, a parent, or a first cousin, just to name a few. Considerations. Like with other types of investing, the sooner you begin, the better. The sooner you create and fund a 529 plan, the more time your money has to grow and multiply. With a prepaid tuition plan, you'll be able to lock in a lower tuition rate than you'd pay later, as many institutions raise their pricing on an annual basis. If you have money left over in a 529 plan, for example, if the beneficiary receives a large scholarship or decides not to attend college, you have numerous alternatives. One option is to change the beneficiary to another relative who meets the transferability requirements. Another is to maintain the present beneficiary in case they change their mind. A third option, beginning in January 2024, is to transfer unspent funds to a Roth IRA account. Lastly, you can cash out the account and pay taxes and a 10% penalty. How can I open a 529 plan? 529 plans can be opened with a state directly. Several brokers and financial advisors also offer 529 plans. They can assist you in selecting from various options available around the country. Who maintains control over a 529 plan? A 529 plan is a custodial account. An adult custodian will be in charge of managing the account. When the beneficiary reaches the age of 18, they can take control of the 529. The money must be utilized for eligible educational expenditures. What are qualified expenses for a 529 plan? Qualified expenses for a 529 plan include vocational school, college, or graduate school tuition and fees, K-12 tuition and fees, school supplies and books, student loan payments, off-campus housing, meal plans and campus food, internet, computers, and software used for schoolwork, student attendance required, and special needs and accessibility equipment for students. Establishing a 529 plan gives you a tax-advantaged way to save for educational expenditures from kindergarten to graduate school, including apprenticeship programs. If the 529 account is 15 years or older, there is now a new option to transfer up to $35,000 of unspent funds into a Roth IRA. If you enjoyed watching this video, please like and share the video with anyone else you think could benefit from this content. Don't forget to hit that red subscribe button so you don't miss any of our upcoming exciting topics.